We're back here on Sunrise. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for joining us. Wherever you are in the world, we're coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica, and it's a great time to be alive. It's time for another morning checkup. Yes. And today we're asking the question, is it flu or is it my allergies? Not all ah-choos are equal. And for this Pharmacy Week, Cari-Med brand manager Stephen Reed and assistant manager for quality and regulatory affairs Narsha Quinn Mason wants to help you identify the root cause of your sniffles. Plus, they want to introduce their range of over-the-counter medications designed to help control any one that comes along. So guess what? We're going to help you fight off whichever one it is. And boy, I don't know.
A lot of Jamaicans tend to be in denial. It's not flu. It's my sinus.
My sinus. Everything.
Everything. You know, miss, you're sick. You need to stay home. You need to get some DPH in your system or something.
Indeed.
It's not your sinus.
No,
the trouble with sinus.
Something about my nose, man. But how do we know? Well, welcome.
Yes.
And by the way, them choose to come right in the middle of one time when one flu will go around. So this is a perfect time to be having this conversation. Let me ask you, Narsha. Not all sniffles are the same. No. How do you differentiate between them?
So you can have allergies that causes runny nose, sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, as well as stuffiness in the nose and a cough, especially if the person is experiencing what they call draining in the back of the throat.
Post-nasal drip.
Right, post-nasal drip, that's the correct term. So that's due to allergies, which is really just an immune response to what's a typically harmless external trigger, like dust, pollen. Some persons are allergic to animals, right? The smell of grass, things like that.
Grass especially.
Cut grass, right? And then you can have sinusitis, which is inflammation of the sinus. Right? And
because we all have sinuses, by the way.
So everybody has sinuses in the face, right? You have sinus cavities. And when these cavities become blocked, right, you can, by inflammation, you can get a sinus infection, which is normally caused by a virus or a bacteria. So when you have that, you'll typically have fever, as you would expect with an infection. You can also have a change in the color of the mucus, or what Jamaican people say coal, them coal change color.
Yeah, green, right? Yellow, them stop them.
Right, so that's an infection, right? You can also have loss of smell with sinus infection. So those are things to look out for. If it's just itchy, watery eyes, red eyes, itchy nose, sneezing, runny nose, that's allergies, right? And it typically resolves after some time. But if it's an infection, it's going to take a little longer to resolve. You might have fever, you might have the change in the color of the mucus, and you might have a loss of smell.
But then how do we know move from that to understanding this is actually a flu and you need to stay over there and not infect me, because sinusitis now infect me, it's not contagious, but the flu is. How do we then now transition to that diagnosis? Right,
so infections are normally contagious. So if I'm having a sinus infection, a flu, cold, and I'm coughing, I'm sneezing, then I can infect someone else. And then when you're having
even though it's your sinus, because a lot of people think that quote-unquote sinus, it's not going to infect anybody, and they're coughing incessantly, they're sneezing, well, no, not just my sinus, I act up, I'm a sinus. But that can also be contagious, is that what you're saying?
So, yes, it can, but allergies are not contagious. So I might be allergic to dust, but you might not be. So if we both go in a room that has dust in the air, I might react to it, but you don't necessarily will react to it, right?
Or if it's some cologne, some couscous.
Right, some strong cologne. Some persons are, you know, that can affect their sinuses.
So how do we know, sir, let me bring the sir in right now, right? So which, based on your catalog here, or medicine chist, right, of medications, right? How do we know which is for what? So if I'm having an allergic reaction, what do I take out from the chest right here? And if I'm having sinusitis issues, what should I take or ask for?
All right, well, in fact, we actually have renamed some of our products actually to bring it strictly down to layman terms for the average Jamaican.
Okay.
So it's actually our product actually called DPH sinus. So it's very simple. You have sinus problems, ask the
Sinus.
pharmacist for DPH sinus.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
But the one for allergy, as most Jamaicans are familiar with, is DPH elixir,
Yes.
right? But we're actually renaming that soon to the market. It's name elixir, but on the product is going to say itch and allergy. Because we listen to Jamaican people, and we know that everybody's not a pharmacist or a doctor. We need to make it very clear for them to know exactly what they need to take.
I like that
So-
because there is sometimes you go, you don't know if you need the expectorant or the elixir.
Right.
Like which one, sir?
I never can tell.
Yeah, so we've been doing
But also
that.
the sleepy one.
So the elixir is the one that most people are very familiar with, very popular. It's itch and allergy, and then the DPH sinus. But also we have the DPH cough and cold and the expectorant. So it's very simple for people to know what symptom they're experiencing and look at the packaging and they can read, and then if they want more information, they can ask their pharmacist.
Yes.
And then the good thing about the DPH as well is that, it's available in 120 ml and both in adult and children's formulation. So if you are sick as well and your little toddler is sick as well too, you can pick up one for them, one for you, and keep the family safe.
I
Is there a
like that.
distinction or a difference, really, between taking a syrup option versus a tablet option?
Well, not in the DPH. The DPH comes in liquid form, right? But cetamol, as people know, cetamol is in tablet form. And then we have the
Yes.
cetamol cold and flu, right? Which is one
Right.
of the flagship ones. But then also you have the multi-symptom that treats a
Yes.
variety of symptoms as well too. They come with the runny nose, which comes from sinus or allergy as well. Or sometimes people have an itchy throat or sort of runny eyes. So you get to the multi-symptoms. So it's really and
And
truly
you have the day and the night one.
daytime,
and I
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Because we don't want you
daytime.
to sleep during the interview, so you tell the
True.
daytime.
Next time I come and say, you see me, huh? I don't know.
That's all the time.
You know?
Drop us on TV. Can you imagine? They
Yeah.
would have talked about we now.
I can imagine.
But
I can imagine.
I gotta tell you, yeah.
But also, apart from being sick, we also want people to remind themselves to also take your vitamins during this period
Amen.
as well.
Yeah,
too. So you have
yes.
the Vigat
Yeah.
and the Hemafits. You need to develop your immune system.
Yes.
So we at FP have all of the products to really keep you sick and keep your immune system strong, right? So that's why we say check up your medicine cabinet, and you can see everything that is there,
Yeah.
everything that you need to carry right throughout the day.
I like the cetamol menstrual as well. Very, very helpful. Ladies, we know that part. At that time, the cetamol menstrual does work. And I see that you have it in different flavors as well. The DPH.
Yes, yes. So, but I mean, mostly the strawberry flavor. 'Cause, growing up, kids and say, boy, that bitter and it tastes good. So we keep on evaluating and innovating. So it's in the strawberry flavor as well, too. And then the children's ones comes a different flavor as well, too. So, yeah, it's there for everybody.
Nice.
Check them out at a pharmacy near you. Thank you very much. Coming up next is a tribute to strengthening grace. Well, shortly we're going to go to that, but TK is on standby with the news. Stay with us.
I'm going to take a migraine for that. I'm going to take a cetamol migraine.